Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello crafters, today I'm sharing with you this card, a Gatefold bridge card. And this is a new design that I've come up with. I haven't seen anything like it on YouTube. I'm going to use this new paper pad to me. I got it in my local Mr. Price here in Ireland. I loved the colour palette on the pattern paper as well as the colour parts that are in it. And it's a great pack and I've shared it before. And I'm going to take this one here, this yellow one. It's one of the first sheets in the pack. Okay, so I have everything ready now. We're going to need a piece of cardstock measuring 9 by 6. I'm scoring it at 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2.5, 6.5, 7.5, and 8.5. So that's our base now. So once I have those score lines in now, I'm going to fold and burnish those. So the third score line in I'm doing as a valley fold. Then I'm going to have a mountain fold. And then the next one will be a valley fold. So I'm just having a look at my template, which is there in front of me. I wanted to make sure I folded this correctly, and I do. So I have my final valley fold there. And that little 1/2 inch is a tab. We're going to attach a piece to that on both the right and the left hand side, and it extends our card out. So again, we're going to do a valley fold, a mountain fold, a valley fold, and that leaves us with our little tab at the end. So we have a bridge fold card in essence here. We've just got little wings on it, and to those we're going to add these two pieces. Both of these measure 3 by 6, and we'll glue them or stick them down using double-sided tape onto our little 1/2 inch tabs there. And you can see how that will extend out then the sides of our card, but our card will still fold flat like we would a bridge fold card. So you can see there it's all contained within the 6 by 6. So we can put this into a 6 by 6 envelope, or a box envelope, or a bouncy envelope, whatever you want to use yourself. Okay, so next now I have some mats and layers, and we're going to need 4 mats. These are 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and then the pattern paper is 2.5 by 5.5. So I'll glue that 4th one together. I've the rest already done. Then I have 4 little strips, and the mat, this green color, is 3/4 inch by 5 3/4, and my pattern paper is 1/2 inch by 5.5. And again, I have 3 ready. I'll just glue that one down before we go and make the card. Next then I want some mats and layers for the front of our card. So we want 2 pieces which measure 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. My pattern paper is 3.5 by 5.5, and my white piece for sentiments is 3 by 5. Now there's one more piece we're going to need, and that's the bridge part of our bridge fold, which I have here. My white piece measures 6 by 1.5. My green piece measures 5 3/4 by 1 1/4, and my pattern paper measures 5.5 by 1. So that's all our pieces there now. Let's assemble our card. I'm going to stick down my little mats and layers that I have yet to finish, and to do that I'm going to use my Collal glue. Now I also have a little glue pin topper here, you can see. I actually made this for myself. I made a number of them, and some of you were so impressed you asked for a video, so I gave you a video. But I also opened an Etsy shop where I'm selling my glue pin toppers in my Etsy shop. It's Blonde Cards. I'll have a link below if you're interested in having a look and want to get yourself one. So now I'm going to speed everything up and glue everything down. And for this piece, I've really got it on high speed because you don't really need to be watching me glue everything down. But I know some of you like to see how I do it, and so I'm leaving that in for you guys. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiments on my white piece later on. I'll put a sentiment on the front white panel and the back white panel. So I'll use my Misty for that. I'm going to use my Quick Grab Cosmic Shimmer glue now to glue my little panels onto that little tab, and I'm making sure that it's lined up at the top and bottom and it sits in there nicely. So I'll add pressure from the front and from the back. So I'll again add the glue. Now I have this so my tab is to the back when the whole thing is open, so it just depends on what side you want to have them. But I love this. I think it's so cool, and it's such a nice size card as well, you know. So I'm going to add my little panels to the gate parts of the front of our card. So I'll add 2 on the inside, and I'm using my Quick Grab glue here. Again, I could have used the Collal, it was just what was at hand. I'm working on a 300 GSM card base, so my card base is quite strong, and the green matte layers there, they're 280 GSM, so it can take the Quick Grab glue. I won't have any warping of the pattern paper or anything on the front. That's the main reason why I use the Collal glue. I don't want any warping of my cardstock or my patterned paper. But because I'm using the heavy cardstocks here, I know that using my Quick Grab glue will be just fine. So this is coming on lovely now. This card is going to be for my mum. My mum is 81 this year. There was big chats between us all of whether she was 80 or 81, but we all came to the conclusion she's 81 this year. Fair play to her. It's a grand age, isn't it? So I'm doing it in the colours that I know my mum will like. So I hope she likes this card. I'm going to put a big number 81 on the front. I don't know if she'll appreciate that sitting on her mantelpiece, but still, isn't it a great year to be able to celebrate? So yeah. So now I'm just going to glue this panel down. I'm going to put a sentiment on the front. There will be room to write underneath it, but I'm going to have the bridge part across the bottom of that, which you'll see now shortly. You can see here that even though the card is quite big, you know, in the MISTI, you can still use the MISTI door to stamp down your sentiment. It doesn't damage the card or anything. It works perfectly fine, and sometimes I forget to do that. You know, because sometimes you can be hit and miss with a stamp, and when you've gone to all this effort, you don't want to mess it up. So I'm being super careful and I'm using my MISTI, but I have to say I could have gone with them just being stamped once. They did stamp lovely. I just like to stamp the second time because it darkens the ink color. So hence the reason why I did it twice for both of those. Now I'm not going to stick the back panel on until I'm more or less finished, but I do want to put my bridge part across there, and you can see it sits nicely there on those 1 inch side panels next to our larger panels. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape here. This is about 3/4 of an inch wide double-sided tape, but you can use glue, whatever you like. I'm just going to go with the tape. So I have closed it over on the right. The panel is pressed down. It's a little bit long. I went from using one trimmer to another, and they can all be a little bit different. So I've had to trim a little bit off there on that right hand side, but no big deal. There we go. It's stuck down, and it's as simple as that, guys. I have all my little bits and pieces here to embellish my card already die cut out. I'm using the Card Making Magic Christina Griffith's sentiments on my card, and I leave links to everything down below. I've also used her numbers for my big number 81, and I used the Simply Made Crafts Fun Accessory die set, and this is the Party Happy Birthday Hooray little die set. It's fab. I use it regular. I also used some dies from my stash to add in my mom, which I'm putting down now. I die cut these out a couple of times and then layered them together so they'd have a bit of dimension to them. And I'm also going to add a little cupcake on, which you will have seen there in the start when I shared it with you. This was a later thought. I just felt that the bridge part of our card needed to be embellished, and I had a made to surprise freebie die that came with die cutting essentials. It was issue 74 and we got these 6 dies. It was a surprise dies for a slider card, and I just love the cupcake and the little candle that comes on this, and I use it regular. It's a kind of a fallback on. So if I can again find links for the products I use, I'll leave them down below. But if you have any questions regarding products that I use, please just leave it in the comment section, and I do answer all the comments. So hopefully I'll be able to help you with that. So now I'm going to add my big panel to the back. This gives me room to write my message and my sentiment. And once I have that done, then that is literally our card finished, just to add the cupcake on. And isn't it so cute? I die cut it out, like I said, a couple of times, and I've colored it in the little candle tip so it looks like it's lighting. I just love it. So that's it, folks. This is literally our card. Doesn't it look fab? I'm delighted with it. I love this style. I hope it's a new style to you. It's definitely a new style to me I haven't seen before. So you can put this in a 6x6 envelope, you can put it in a bouncy envelope or a box envelope, and I have a 6x6 box envelope. I like to use the 6x6 box envelope by Sam, that's Mixed Up Crafts. I'll leave a link to her video down below. So that's it. There is our Gatefold bridge card. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you have, you might give it a thumbs up. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing, and if not, you might click on the bell icon so that next time I release a video, you'll get notified. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. You can buy my toppers from the Etsy shop that I have, Blonde Cards. And until next time, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and bye for now.